Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are about to bring up some bad memories for all NBA fans alike, as we are going through every NBA team's worst trade ever made. So, I'm very curious about this, because I know some of them are going to be from like the 80s, the 90s, you know, really every different era of basketball, because not every team makes a trade every single season. But yeah, this is a video by Wilson C, and this guy makes awesome content, guys. He only got 30k subscribers. He deserves a lot more than that. So guys, go subscribe to his channel, bro. Like, seriously, this guy makes some good content. And here we go, man. Let's check this out.
2019 NBA trade deadline nearly coming to a close.
It's gonna be some bad ones, man. I know it too.
Continue to grow until a deal gets.
By the way, the video is about a month and a half old or so. So I mean, you know, you're gonna see he's talking about the NBA trade deadline as of right now.
Anthony Davis. The Knicks shocked the world by trading away Kristaps Porzingis to Dallas, and if the Mavs end up winning multiple titles and the Knicks continue to stink for the next decade, New York will regret their offer. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Throughout the history of the NBA, many bad trades have completely changed the culture of two teams.
Dude. I remember that one. That one's bad.
The other becomes awful.
Old ass KG and Paul Pierce.
If they didn't pull the trigger, giving up certain players. Here are the worst trades for every NBA franchise, starting with the Atlanta Hawks. If you thought trading away Luka Doncic for Trae Young was bad, dating back to the St. Louis days, the franchise drafted Bill Russell out of the University of San Francisco.
Who they trade him for?
1956 with the #2 pick, but stupidly trading the franchise center for star player Ed McCauley, who would retire 3 years later, and Cliff Hagan.
Who the hell is that?
Who was serving in the military and had yet to play for Boston, ended up being a great player as a 6-time All-Star.
Oh my God, you guys could have Bill Russell.
In 1958,
11 championship rings.
To a dynasty, winning 11 championships, cementing his legacy as the greatest champion in all of basketball. The Boston Celtics trading away Joe Johnson in 2002 after drafting Joe with the 10th overall pick in 01. The Celtics dealt him only
Joe Johnson was
games
nice
into the season, receiving Tony Dell and Rodney Rogers.
Well said, that was a bad trade, but considering like the Boston Celtics like legacy in the NBA, I'm surprised it's not worse. Like, yeah, Joe Johnson's great, but I mean, you know, I respect him. It's just like, Tony Delk was actually kind of a beast. I mean, I think that guy had like a 50-point game or something like that.
Both didn't make Boston
Joe
better.
Johnson.
Johnson would eventually become a 7-time All-Star as one of the most underrated, forgotten great players in the late 2000s. Imagine having the combo
also
of Johnson
bitch-ass
and
contract
Pierce
player.
in their prime. The Brooklyn Nets trading away multiple future first-round draft picks for an old Kevin Garnett.
They
Paul
bounced
Pierce,
back though,
and
man. The
Jason
team's
Terry.
looking nice.
Good thing is, Brooklyn slowly bouncing back in playoff contention. After a couple miserable seasons, the 2014 roster lost in the second round had to blow up the team, while the Celtics used those picks to select Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, traded their remaining Nets draft choice for Kyrie Irving. At least the Nets made a smart move by trading for D'Angelo Russell. That was only the dumbest move for the Brooklyn Nets. Almost 30 years back, the New Jersey Nets traded away Julius Erving when the ABA and NBA merger took place in 1976. After winning the ABA title, because Erving was looking for a new contract, the Nets needed more money for the NBA merger agreement. They dealt Julius to the
I mean, can you really, you know, in that case, can you blame him if it comes down to a business thing like that? Like, they needed the money for the merger. You know, what choice do they have?
$3 million. Irving later became a Philly icon, winning an MVP, making 4 finals, and a championship the city will always cherish. The Charlotte Hornets, obviously trading away Kobe Bryant to the Lakers for Vlade Divac, where Hornets fans will always feel the pain when they think of Kobe. Despite
Do you think he would have been just as good on the Hornets, though?
The team could have at least tried to keep him. While Kobe became the best player in the 2000s, won 5 titles with Los Angeles, the Charlotte franchise still hasn't even made a conference finals
Second great shooting guard of all time.
The Chicago Bulls trading away LaMarcus Aldridge.
I actually like Tyrese Thomas. I believe he went to Florida, right? I actually liked him. He was a beast on 2K. That's all I know. Like, Tyrese Thomas, if he could have had a little jump shot on him, a little better of a jump shot, he would have been a nice player, man. Plus, he got injured a lot. He was a nice player, though.
was actually drafted by the Bulls with the 2nd overall pick.
Not as good as LaMarcus, of course.
But they traded him to the Blazers for the rights to fellow rookie Tyrese Thomas. 13 years later, Aldridge is still an all-star player, while Thomas became a huge bust and hasn't played in the NBA in over 4 years. The Cleveland Cavaliers, back in 1980, the Cavs and Lakers made a deal to trade Butch Lee in a 1982 first-round pick to LA, where James Worthy became the 82 pick the Lakers received, taking first overall. After Cleveland ended up with the worst record in
that makes more sense why this is bad.
LA was coming off a championship, where Big Game James helped Magic and Kareem win 3 more titles, won Finals MVP in '88. The two guys traded to Cleveland were both out of the league before Worthy even put on a Lakers uniform. In my opinion, this was worse than the Kyrie Irving Isaiah Thomas deal, because Worthy could have been the first James to help the Cavs franchise win a title. The Dallas Mavericks, trading away Jason Kidd to Phoenix alongside role players Tony
Sam Cassell and Michael Finley were not bad. They were not bad players. And they weren't Jason Kidd, of course, but...
Dumas and Lauren Meyer in
exchange
for
horrible
Sam
trade.
Cassell,
AC Green's not
Michael
bad either.
Finley, AC Green, and a second rounder. Even though Cassell and Finley had good NBA careers, Jason Kidd became one of the best point guards of all time and was already a proven franchise player after his rookie season.
Him and Dirk?
Fortunately,
I mean,
Kidd came back to Dallas more than 10 years later, helping the Mavs win a title as a very effective role player. The Denver Nuggets, trading away their 1983
Clyde Drexler?
Pick that turned out to be Clyde Drexler, while Portland gave away T.R. Dunn in 1980, who was an excellent defender, but never averaged more than 8.2 points a game. Drexler would become one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. The Detroit Pistons, trading away Chauncey
Repressed memory. I loved Allen Iverson, but I love Johnson Bills more. That was the end of an era, man. And Antonio McDyess, we lost him, man. Repress.
And Antonio McDyess for Allen Iverson. AI was at the tail end of his career, only lasted 54 games with Detroit, while the franchise hasn't won a playoff game in nearly 11 years since Chauncey was still around. The Nuggets became contenders in the West, a trade that still haunts the Pistons more than a decade later. The Golden State Warriors, trading away Will Chamberlain in 1965, where they were still the San Francisco
Warriors at the
time, at the very peak of his career, for Connie Durkin, Paul Newman, and Lee Schaffer. Guys nobody today ever heard of, and $150,000
the great
with
Connie
the team
Durkin.
Financial issues, arguably the most lopsided deal in NBA history.
Connie Durkin and Paul Newman,
the franchise also traded Robert Parrish in 1980, and the 3rd overall pick in Kevin McHale to the Celtics for their draft picks, which turned out to be Joe Barry Carroll and Ricky Brown. Boston went on to win 3 titles in 6 years, while Golden State didn't even make the playoffs in any of the Celtics title years in the 80s. The Houston Rockets, trading away Moses Malone to the Sixers for Caldwell Jones and the draft rights to Rodney McRae. Moses won the title the following season with the Sixers and continued to dominate throughout the 80s. The Indiana Pacers, trading Kawhi Leonard for George Hill. Imagine how amazing the
I was actually surprised because Greg Popovich actually really liked George Hill a lot, so he must have saw something. Guys, here's food for thought right here. If the Spurs want to make a trade with you, don't do it, because they know what they're doing.
The of Leonard and Paul George could have been. Despite PG doing well with the Pacers, the team never got over the hump, while Leonard helped San Antonio win a title in 2014, winning Finals MVP at 22 years old. The Los Angeles Clippers, trading away Baron Davis and his remaining 2-year, over $28 million deal, including an unprotected first-round pick, to Cleveland for Mo Williams and Jamario Moon. The draft pick turned out to be Kyrie Irving. The Cavs landed first overall, won the title in 2016 thanks to his clutch shooting. LA was in a rush to get rid of Davis's contract so bad it totally backfired, knowing they could have gotten the first overall pick. The Los Angeles Lakers, way too many trees to count. Trading Shaq to Miami wasn't the worst in my opinion, since Lamar Odom was a solid player who played a huge role for Kobe's last 2 titles. In 1979, LA traded star player Adrian Dantley in exchange for Spencer Haywood. Dantley was the most prolific scorer in the 80s, had a Hall of Fame career.
Don't know much about the 80s, guys, so
points from
no huge opinion.
To 84. Haywood, on the other hand, struggled with cocaine addiction, was waived by Los Angeles after 1 year, even considered killing his former head coach Paul Westhead, drawing a dark time where he was always coked out of his mind, surrounded by the
dude,
Showtime with Dantley could have doubled the amount of championships for Magic. Maybe the Lakers would have won the title every year in the 80s, adding another superstar, but we'll never know. The Memphis Grizzlies, trading away franchise player Pau Gasol.
Hey, it became Marc Gasol. This was not a bad trade, man. At the time, it looked horrible. Yo, this is the dude with the guns. I remember with Gilbert Arenas, Aaron McKee. Yeah, I think he was washing it by then. Kwame Brown was Kwame Brown, but Marcus Sullivan, it was not bad. It was not horrible.
In exchange for Kwame Brown,
not bad.
Javaris Crittenton,
could have been worse.
Aaron McKee, 2 picks, and the draft rights to Marcus All, who turned out to be an excellent player. But Memphis helped the Lakers franchise win 2 championships. Couldn't even try to snatch Andrew Bynum or Lamar Odom, the steal of the 2000s.
Where are they both at, though?
Miami Heat, trading away Steve Smith in 1994, who was one of the most underrated shooting guards in the late 90s, in exchange for veteran Kevin Willis. Atlanta had a few solid seasons with Smith as their best player, while Miami lacked another shooter to help them get over the hump in the playoffs. They could have used Smith to fully make them true contenders. The Milwaukee Bucks trading away Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the best player
Elmore Smith,
very prime, also
Junior Bridgman. Oh my God!
Gave up Elmore Smith, Brian Winters, David Myers, and Junior Bridgman. Even though the Bucks already won a title with Kareem, the 7'2" center helped the Lakers win 5 titles. Another lopsided trade where Kareem was still a superstar until the late 80s. The Bucks trading Dirk Nowitzki for Robert Trailers also.
Robert Tractor Trailer, man! Look at that big boy.
A franchise that's known for making terrible decisions, the Wolves actually drafted Ray Allen, but immediately traded him to the Bucks for Stephon Marbury.
Starberry
was teammates with KG in Boston.
Greatest basketball shoes of all time.
Him in Minnesota.
Starberries.
The New Orleans Pelicans trading away Buddy Hield for DeMarcus Cousins. The trade felt like a winner, but a couple years passed where Cousins tore his Achilles.
See, that right there, though, it's like, what can you do? I mean, you don't know guys are going to get injured. Who knows? He would have stayed healthy. Him and Anthony Davis could be on the same team right now, and the Pelicans would have been a lot better because of it.
Left in free agency, without getting anything in return, while Hield has turned into a great player in Sacramento. A terrible decision in getting Cousins in the first place, now leading Anthony Davis demanding a trade. The New York Knicks trading for Eddie Curry, their 2006 first-round pick, 2 second-round picks to the Bulls, and the right to switch with the Knicks' first-round pick in 2007. The 2 first-rounders turned out to be Marcus Aldridge and Joakim Noah. Ooh. Before the trade, Curry was hospitalized with an irregular heartbeat and refused to take a test that would determine if he should ever play basketball or not. Had plenty of off-the-court and health issues, where the Knicks became the laughingstock of the NBA after the Ewing era. The Oklahoma City Thunder trading away James Harden, a costly mistake, receiving Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, and 2013 first-round pick that became Steven Adams. Harden's now one of the best players in the NBA, and if OKC doesn't win a championship within the next 3 years, they will live with regret for a long time. Before OKC, when the team was the Supersonics, the franchise traded away Scottie Pippen, who they selected 5th overall in the 1987 draft. The Orlando Magic, another dysfunctional franchise who made many mistakes, traded away Victor Oladipo and a first-round pick that turned out.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was just for Serge Ibaka. That was, oh my God. Damn, dude, that's
to be Domantas Sabonis.
Not good for Serge.
Ibaka, who was later traded for Terrence Ross. That's just awful. The Philadelphia 76ers trading away superstar Charles Barkley in 1992 to Phoenix in exchange for Jeff Hornacek, Andrew Lang, and Tim Perry. None of them helped the Sixers in the long run, while Charles won MVP the following season, leading Phoenix to the finals. The Phoenix Suns trading Jason Kidd to the Nets for Stephon Marbury in 2001. New Jersey won 26 games before Kidd's arrival, instantly turned the franchise around, making back-to-back finals, turning them into contenders. Marbury, on the other hand, made Phoenix worse, lasted 2.5 seasons there. Phoenix luckily bounced back after signing Steve Nash in free agency in 2004. The Portland Trailblazers trading away Moses Malone, whom they selected 5th overall in the 1976 ABA dispersal draft, traded him to Buffalo for a first-round pick, where the Braves traded him 6 days after to Houston. Having no idea how great Moses would become, he could have been the perfect replacement for Bill Walton. The Sacramento Kings trading away Oscar Robertson to the Bucks in 1970. The team was called the Cincinnati Royals at the time. The Big O was still a star-quality player, teamed up with Kareem, helping Milwaukee win the title in 1971. The San Antonio Spurs, a franchise who's made very few mistakes, traded for Richard Jefferson in 2009.
Wait, they traded Bruce Bowen?
Bruce Bowen, Kurt Thomas, and Fabricio Oberto. RJ didn't make much of an impact as his game regressed. The Toronto Raptors trading away Vince Carter, sending him to New Jersey for Aaron Williams, Eric Williams, and the contract of Alonzo Mourning, who never played for the Raptors, along with draft picks who made no impact, giving up their biggest franchise star for basically nobody. The Utah Jazz trading Dominique Wilkins after selecting him 3rd overall.
Got that $1 million though, man. Got the $1 million. It's all good.
Atlanta in exchange for John Drew, Freeman Williams, and $1 million in cash. The human highlight film became one of the most electrifying players in NBA history. Imagine if Wilkins teamed up with Malone and Stockton, the team might have won a couple titles together. The Washington Wizards trading Chris Webber to Sacramento in exchange for Mitt Richmond and Otis Dork in 1998. Richmond was already 32 years old, while Sewell was 25, just entering his prime, helped the Kings contend in the early 2000s. Thank you so much for watching this video.
I love this guy's outro, man. He got the freaking resume thing going there. It's pretty funny. So, yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I know I did. Like, some of these trades here were, I think they're definitely ones that are worse than others. Some that were pretty damn bad. Chauncey and Iverson. I mean, Iverson, I don't know, man. At the time, I remember liking the trade because the Pistons were getting kind of stale with, I don't know, man, but I loved Allen Iverson, but I love Chauncey Billups even more. Anyway, guys, this is very interesting. Be sure to check out Wilson C's channel, and thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.